All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping right into the escalating covert conflict between Iran and Israel. This is a battle that isn't being fought on traditional front lines, but deep in the shadows of espionage and intelligence. And really, to get a feel for just how high the stakes are, listen to this quote from the source material. As shadow wars spill onto the streets, the region edges closer to a dangerous and unpredictable chapter. You know, this isn't just about spies and secret missions anymore. This is a conflict that is literally spilling out into the open, and the consequences are deadly. So, to really grasp how intense things have gotten, we're going to start with the most recent event reported by Iranian state media: the neutralization of an alleged operative from Mossad, Israel's intelligence agency. So, according to Iran's state-run press TV, this man, Sadiq Ashtari, wasn't just some spy. Oh no, they're calling him a terrorist ringleader. They claim he was trained by Mossad in Iraq, and that he was the one who led an attack on a police station in Tehran just back in January. But here's the thing, and it's a really crucial point. While these are some massive claims coming from Iranian state media, there is absolutely no independent confirmation of Ashtari's supposed ties to Mossad. This just goes to show you how murky and information-driven this whole conflict really is. And you know, this case with Ashtari, it's not happening in a vacuum. Not at all. It's actually part of a much bigger and, frankly, pretty disturbing pattern of Iran targeting people it accuses of spying for Israel. And when you look at another recent case, the bigger picture starts to come into focus. Yeah, you can really see that pattern take shape when you put Ashtari's case side by side with another one, that of Akil Keshavarz. One's an alleged urban warfare operative, the other an accused intelligence gatherer. But look, even with different allegations, the main accusation is identical: working for Mossad. And for both men, the outcome was just as final. Ashtari was neutralized and Keshavarz was executed just a few months earlier. But, and this is a huge but, there's a completely different story being told here. While Iranian officials were saying Keshavar's case was clear-cut espionage, human rights groups are painting a picture that's, well, it's a world away from Iran's official version. They allege his confession was actually extracted under torture, which of course adds this deeply troubling layer to the whole thing. So, when you take a step back, you realize these individual cases, they're really just the tip of the iceberg. They're part of a massive, sweeping crackdown happening inside Iran, a campaign the government is framing as a vital counter-espionage operation. And when I say massive, I mean it. The numbers are just staggering. We're talking about Iranian security forces reporting the capture of over 470 individuals. They're claiming these are the key figures behind the recent unrest in the country. And check this out, these arrests weren't just random. They were laser-focused on 3 specific provinces, with a huge number, 192 coming from Khorasan Razavi alone. This points to a very targeted, very widespread security sweep happening across the country. And it wasn't just arrests. Security forces also claimed to have seized a huge cache of weapons. I mean, we're talking about everything from Kalashnikov rifles and bulletproof vests to, get this, daggers, crossbows, and brass knuckles. This is the picture Iran is painting, that they're fighting off a full-blown armed insurrection. So you take the targeted killings, you add in these massive internal crackdowns, and what you get is what experts are calling an intensifying shadow war. Okay, so what is a shadow war? What does that even mean? Well, think of it this way. It's a conflict that's fought without traditional armies clashing on a battlefield. Instead, it's all about covert means: proxies, espionage, cyber attacks, and even assassinations. It's how countries can hit each other without sparking an all-out war. And this timeline, this is where it all clicks into place. You can see exactly how we got here. It all blew up back in June 2025 with what was called a 12-day war. Israel hit Iranian nuclear sites, Iran fired back with missiles, and then the US stepped in with B-2 bombers to get a ceasefire. But the conflict didn't end there. It just went dark. And that decision leads us directly to the executions and neutralizations we've been talking about. But here's where the story takes another turn. This secret bottle, it's not just staying between Iran and Israel anymore. No, it's showing signs of widening, of spilling over, and that could pull in other major global players. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Just recently, Israel dropped a bombshell accusation. They claim to have uncovered a massive spy network that connects Iran directly to its ally Russia. Now, if that's true, it changes the game completely, expanding this intelligence war way beyond the Middle East. So,
You see what's happening, right? A conflict that was supposed to stay in the shadows is now bursting into the light, and it's getting deadlier and way more complicated. As these spy games get more intense and new countries get dragged in, the big question isn't if this shadow war is going to get bigger, it's just how far it's going to spread.